and making sure everything transpires in the proper accord. So you already know who this is. Just being the humble servant coming, reaching out to you and yours with upliftment, motivation, spirituality, and practicality that we can go about applying to our daily lives. That's why it's very important that, that when we're on this journey of forgiveness, that we start internally in regards to working out some of the things that are going about hindering us, so that when confronted with situations, it's easier for us to go about dealing with it, because these internal struggles are just a reflection of our ideologies and how we go about processing things. So let it be that in finding forgiveness, you start inside. You make it so that your journey is one of peace. And one must go about asking themselves, how is it that we go about attaining that sense of peace? How is it that we go forth getting to that beautiful place in our life? Well, one must go about taking a hard look at themselves. And in order for you to go about changing something, you have to be able to recognize what's there. And in recognition, it will show you the principal flaws in which you're going about applying things in the wrong way. You see, all of us have a way of doing things. But if we're doing the same thing and it's not going about bringing a positive effect in our life, then we have to be conscientious and aware and says to ourselves, what I'm doing is truly not working. And here is why. Despite somebody saying something, a word, a gesture, but if it causes you to be irritated, if it causes you to lose control of yourself, then you must go about seeking out, why is this causing me irritation to the level that it's taking away from my peace? The inward journey is one in which we go about taking a careful analysis. And in taking a careful analysis, we have to be honest. And in being honest, it's more along the line of coming to see why you hold on to what people have to say about you. Like in the last live, I made it apparently clear, validation comes from within. That is only something that each individual could go about giving themselves. Hey, thank you for joining the live. Go ahead and double tap the screen so we could get them thumbs up, so we can push this video out to others so that they may go about receiving the information as well. And put a comment in the video. If there's anything that you're struggling with, hit the chat so that we could go about having an open discussion and bringing forth a dialogue. Because the same way how you go about viewing certain things, bless up on a thumbs up, there we go, let's get this thing going. The same way how you go about stressing on some issues, there's other people who are having the same negative impact in their life. Some of us are too afraid to go about stepping up. So I'm reaching out to the ones who are not afraid. Go ahead and put it in the chat so that we could grow and that it could be a blessing and that we reach that consciousness, that level that helps us move in a positive direction. So the thing that we all must come to see is that when we look at the term forgiveness, what does forgiveness actually mean? Forgiveness is not allowing something, whatever the situation may be, to take over and cause disruption in your life. Now, a lot of people will walk around and go about saying that, yeah, I forgive her for what she did. She stole some money from me. She went ahead and spread some vicious lies in regards to my character and what kind of person I was. But I was taught that I'm supposed to forgive, because a lot of people face the dilemma, and how is it that I go about forgiving, and what's the appropriate way to forgive? And these are some of the things that I would like to go about addressing. Yes, something hurtful was done to you, but if you are still harping over what was done to you, you have not forgiven yourself, or you have not gone about forgiving that other person. Because at the sight or the thought of it, if it brings you irritation, you have not made peace with that situation. There's a part in the scriptures where it talks about, before any person come to give worship and him and his brother are arguing, it's best he goes settle that dispute before he comes to argue. Now, the reason I wanted to throw that in there was because a lot of us, our mouths go about practicing worthlessness. We say a lot of things that we truly do not mean, or yet live wholehearted. We say that we forgive this person, but yet the sight of that person brings irritation. We say that we have forgiven ourselves, but yet anxiety, depression steps in. So these are some of the things that we need to go about looking at carefully. The word forgiveness means for you to go about making peace with that situation. And in making peace with that situation, it no longer causes you irritation at the sight of it. You see. Now, how many of us are making peace with our situation? There's things still affecting us from 10, 20, 15 years ago. But yet we use the connotation of forgiveness, and we're holding ourselves prisoner to something that has happened in the past. There's a prayer in Catholicism, quite funny, in that it says, "Forgive me for my future missteps." Now, if you don't know you're going to do something wrong, how could you be forgiven? Forgiveness only comes with the acknowledgement that something was done wrong. Because if you're not aware that something is wrong, why seek forgiveness? And now it takes me to this point. A lot of us are not conscientious and realizing that some of the things that we're doing is wrong. We carry on in our own little world, believing that everybody else will somewhat get our viewpoint on how we go about talking, expressing an idea, and so forth. But when that idea is shut down, when we are not met with the approval of others, we start to blame ourselves. And in starting to blame ourselves, we look at ourselves with a certain level of doubt, because this idea that you have is such a great idea. Why can't everybody else see this idea? And we carry on in a manner where it's doubting our abilities, wanting to be accepted, and more looking from a standpoint that we are not worthy as we thought. But just because others do not go about sharing your viewpoint, that's no reason for you to go about doubting the situation. Doubt is a thief. Forgive yourself. I don't care how many times you go about tripping. Get back up. The key to life is that determination becomes a factor. If you fall 5 times, you better get up 10. If you fall 20, you better get up 40. Now, the reason I double the number is it doesn't matter how much times you fall. The whole emphasis behind this is that you get back up so that you could go about persevering, getting forward in life. Don't hold yourself hostage for your failures. Don't hold yourself to a level that makes you look at life from a standpoint where it's you beat up yourself, because then that's not worthy. Oh, come on, Petey.